And welcome to Moonride. This is Dave Johnson. I'm channeling the man in the moon today. This will be a political reading. I'm gonna take a look at the border deal sort of crisis. It looks like it's all falling apart, and I just want to see what the ramifications are and sort of what's behind all of this. By the way, if you're feeling a state of sort of malaise, you don't really know what to do, you're kind of feeling strange and maybe just a little bit upset, it's totally normal. Everybody's going through this right now. All my clients are calling me and telling me this, and I'm feeling this. It's almost like post-traumatic stress. This is just a gestation period. It is a period for us to kind of go through stuff slowly and maybe not even very actively. It's okay to do that. It's okay to spend your time reading a really good book. And it's gonna feel better and sort of prepare us for the year ahead. Let's take a look then at this border deal crisis. And when I say crisis, this is also manufactured. You know, when people are talking about, oh yeah, all those people coming over the border, honestly, so what? So what? People have been coming over the border for hundreds of years and they just find jobs here and they commit less crimes than people who already live here. And if that didn't work for the United States of America, then we wouldn't, have them employed, right? It's just a false argument to suggest that there is some horrific crisis. And that's part of the deal, right? We just had this border deal, which was super conservative, but they pulled out. I'm seeing the guy who sponsored it, this super conservative guy. Kind of looks like he dyes his hair. I don't think he does, but sorry, I can't remember his name, but you'll know who I mean. He's the Republican who created this, and he's just showing up very disillusioned. All of these people, some of these people really believe what they're doing. They really believe that they are doing something good by locking down the border. And yeah, obviously we gotta, be somewhat careful about who comes into this country, as best we can. But this guy, he really believes like, oh, America, this is some issue. So, let's give him credit for believing this. But it's obvious that it's a fraud. If Republicans really cared about this, they would, this is his thoughts, they would have, taken the deal. So the point that I'm trying to make here is that as this guy is looking at this, he is becoming disillusioned. And as he is becoming disillusioned, he is an example of other Republicans, conservative ones, that are becoming disillusioned. They are less and less believing that this crisis is one that, is organic. It's a crisis that's created, and maybe not so much of a crisis anyway. So he's just completely like, yeah, he's lost all his motivations. And this is going to hurt him politically. When he goes to run for re-election, he's going to get attacked for trying to solve a problem. So, how is he going to feel about, supporting Trump or even running again? He's like, all the things that he's supposed to believe in, he doesn't really believe anymore. This is a great, I think, example of how many Republicans will eventually view the, Donald Trump and these hyper-conservative people. And now I'm seeing Marjorie Greene. She's, completely whacked. She's just obsessed with these things and her own sort of righteousness. She does largely believe in what she's doing. She thinks that she's doing the right thing, but that's part of her identity. It's part of her ego. So she really does believe these conspiracy theories. She truly believes that, there are lasers in space, making people gay, sponsored by George Soros. To a degree, she believes those to be true. It's almost like she's saying they could be true, so they are true. And it's kind of interesting to get in the mind of a conspiracy theorist. It's just like somebody who eats a cake, and because they just finished cake, they think that everything's cake, right? It just that sort of very sort of a loose ability to analyze things. So I'm just gonna ask again about the border deal, like what. Well, look, this is just going to make Biden look great. They gave the Republicans most of what they wanted. They gave up DACA. They gave up all of these things. They basically called the Republicans bluff. And the Republicans did the worst thing they could possibly have done, which is, their only purpose is to force deals like this. There are centrist Republicans, kind of almost Democrats, who will view this in the same way, say, yeah, there really is nothing here but politics. They're just starting to lose their belief in the Republican Party and just are looking at them as just, cynically, as just another politician. So Biden's showing up again. And he's like, look, this is terrific distraction. Here they are going to just argue over these, just quibble over these silly definitions of what's the truth. And that's distracting them from, Hunter Biden. It's distracting them from everything else. And it's distracting the American public. The American public will now land on this issue and debate it instead of, other crazy emotional arguments. This is very significant. It is like I keep seeing things succeeding for Biden. This is not the only thing that's succeeding for Biden. It is just another sort of jewel in the crown of Biden's sort of continuous success. Now we're looking at Trump. So it just also reveals Trump as being an utterly selfish person. This does not benefit anyone except Donald Trump. So one person is getting what they want, and all the rest of us are wasting our time as we spin this political wheel round and round. It's just a bully. He's just a bully. He just wants things to go his way. And I have to say, he looks really old. There's something about that rage, it ages you. And I just see him really looking just kind of falling apart and aging and getting less and less healthy. And this was a self-inflicted wound. Had Trump said nothing, then he could have gone in and said, oh, look, my Republican colleagues finally did something. That's why you should vote for me, because we'll get more done. There was no reason for him to block this. Well, there was a reason, but his reasons were bad, and most people are, getting a little sick of it. And here we have the Democrats again, moving forward and doing what's needed and solving problems. It's one thing to come in as an outsider and say, oh, I can fix all of that. But he's no longer an outsider, and he didn't fix anything. So what's Trump doing? It's like he's running. He's running away. It's like there's like a door open and there's light in there, and he's just running away. And it's interesting, the door kind of has like floating clouds in there. So it's almost like a door into the universe. It's a dark room. And he's sitting there obsessing with this, twittering, and he's alone in this dark room. And then there's this door. Trump wants an escape. And I've often seen him escaping. Maybe the escape is the end of his life. Now, I am I always ask the universe, don't tell me who's going to pass, because I don't think that's right. But there's some escape going on here. He does have suitcases for this escape. So maybe it isn't the end of his life. But yeah, there's money in the suitcases, and it's like the suitcases open up, and the money goes flying away before he goes through the door. It's like you can't take it with you. He does have documents in another suitcase, and that one he holds really close. So he's got to leave the money behind, but he can take the documents. And the documents are the only thing that he has of value left. The people around him don't really believe him in either. So there really is the only thing that he's got are this sort of powerful documents. So, Spirit, does this mean Trump's still hidden some? Yes, he still has some of these documents. He has either made copies of the ones that he gave to, or that were taken by the FBI, or he actually, I think there's some that they could not find because there was that secret room. So can we know more about this issue? Just a little bit more. I see Biden, he's in the sunlight, it's like a crack in the sky opens up and there's Biden. Biden's dancing around. And he's dancing in a sort of circle. And that's that same circle that I saw before. So, anything more here? The bottom line is that this is going to benefit Biden yet again. The Republican obstruction is eventually going to be seen as nothing but obstruction. All they do is investigate people and fool around. There is no real movement forward for the Republican Party. It just makes the Democrats look better. Thanks so much for watching.